Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us at 7. I'm Tracey McCain.
And I'm Nicole Nalepa in for Caitlin Newflow. And you are watching Eyewitness News on the Wax. So thanks so much for being here. We do have a lot of stories to get to, a lot of updates, a lot of breaking news. But first, we do want to bring in meteorologist Jill Gilgardi because she has a check of your first alert forecast, which you do not want to miss.
Yes, it is so much better already. The sun's out. Okay,
the sun's back.
Yeah, we're starting off on the right foot. If only it was warm outside. But, you know, you can't get it all at once. Eventually we will. But we're still in that transition time of year. And what we're going to be tracking today, a few clouds this morning, as you can see on Torrington. But yes, we have plenty of sunshine as well. And as we take a look at the temperatures right now, we gave you that first alert. It was going to be pretty much below freezing across the state with many 20s. Now, I will say this, with that little bit of wind, while it's making your skin feel cool, it's mixing up the air enough that a lot of those buds and things would not have as much of an impact with the cold temperatures. It's still nights with frost that can form. That's when it becomes more problematic. All right, so the wind is present, nothing, you know, exceptional out there, but all it takes is a little wind, and your skin says it feels like it's in the teens and 20s, so that's what you need to dress for, the winter coat. Had to break it back out again. A flurry is possible northwest, where we see a few more clouds. Otherwise, it is bright, it's beautiful, it's a little bit chilly. Look at that bright sunshine in Old Saybrook, and what we're going to be tracking today is, yes, that cooler feel. It will be breezy, but at least we'll have sunshine all day long, so you're dressing for that feel in the low 40s, though we will be actually, you know, the thermometer warmer than that. All right, so when do we get back into those 60s? When will rain return? All that jazz is coming up in the next 15 minutes from now, but let's get an update on traffic with Caitlin.
All right, thanks, Jill. Good morning, everyone. 7:02. Following this breaking traffic alert here for you. This is in Norwalk, 95 southbound between exits 15 and 14. The right and center lanes are closed. Connecticut State Police confirmed this was an earlier tractor-trailer truck fire here. Thankfully, no injuries reported, but we're dealing with significant delays through this stretch. So make sure that you're giving yourself plenty of time as you're heading out the door. We just sent a push alert to your phone about this just a few minutes ago. More than a 2-hour ride now, 95 southbound towards the George Washington Bridge. Partially and thanks to that incident that we're dealing with. Rest of the state not doing too bad. However, a couple of road closures, one in Glastonbury, Ferry Lane, right by Meadow Road. That's right on the Rocky Hill line by the ferry, which is also not in service today once again. And again, following this road closure in East Haddam, Hop Yard Road closed right around Foxtown Road. Live look outside here in Hartford. Traffic volume building. A live look in Middletown along Route 9 here in Waterbury and 84 and in Meriden along 691. Nice bright sunshine. Grab the sunglasses. And you might need the heat on once again in the car this morning as you're heading out. Let's quick check at your Connecticut Chevy First Alert traffic report driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
All right, this morning, the biggest battle in President Donald Trump's trade war has just begun as dozens of new tariffs on imports from dozens of countries went into effect.
And your reporter, Roger Suzanne, has some more details on how will these tariffs impact people throughout the country.
Good morning. Absolutely. All of us will likely see the impact from these tariffs in one way or another. Experts say that businesses will feel the pinch first, and they will likely raise their prices again, which means all of us will be paying for these tariffs in some form. Now, they went into effect, dozens of them, at 12:01 this morning. These new tariffs impacting more than 90 countries. Now, most of these levies are between 11 and 50%, but goods from China are getting an additional 84% bump, which when coupled with earlier increases means the total tariff hike for Chinese imports is now 104%, staggering. As a result, U.S. consumers will likely have to pay a lot more for a whole bunch of stuff, especially electronics, clothing, and sports equipment. Although Chinese goods less than $800 will get a temporary pass until May 2nd. Now, President Trump says his team is working on tailored deals that eventually, he says, could lower some of these tariffs and that the moves will eventually reinvigorate American manufacturing. But critics argue the president could tank the economy first, and this process could take a very, very long time. Now, many foreign leaders are striking back against these American tariffs with retaliatory tariffs of their own. We'll break down that more on the Channel 3 app, as you can check on our website as well, WFSB.com. Reporting in New Britain this morning, I'm your reporter, Roger Suzanne, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, thanks, Roger. And you know, Wall Street has been reacting to these tariffs, and the reactions came even before they took effect at midnight. Stocks fell late in the day yesterday after big gains earlier in the day. And overnight, Asian and European stocks sank again. Your business reporter, Jane King, is going to have even more details on the impact of these tariffs a little later on. And now we turn you to New Haven, where police say that they know what led up to a deadly double shooting that took place Monday night.
Officers continue to look for a suspect this morning. They tell us someone shot and killed 49-year-old Clifford Capehart and 39-year-old Karan Tautman on Winter Street Monday night. Based on evidence police found at the scene, investigators believe this was a robbery or drug deal that went bad. Detectives are now looking through traffic camera footage to identify a suspect.
And we have some new details now on a missing sailboat that left New Haven and was headed for the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Well, it has been found. The Coast Guard says someone helped find the boat, which is named Hot Chocolate, just about 46 miles off of Fire Island after it was reported missing yesterday morning. The U.S. Coast Guard rescued 3 people on board, and they say thankfully no one was hurt. Also new this morning, we've learned that the man charged with hitting and killing police detective Bobby Garton has pleaded guilty to 2 felony charges, including manslaughter.
Now, police say Richard Barrington hit a police cruiser in September 2023. Officer Garton was in the passenger seat at the time and was killed. The suspect, Barrington, is pleading not guilty to 5 different charges. A memorial fund for Officer Garton is asking his family and friends to attend the sentencing date in June.
Also happening now in East Haven, police there are looking for a driver involved in a hit and run that left 1 person hurt.
Your reporter Marcy Jones has the latest along with new released video from East Haven Police.
We know that surveillance footage is a very key piece of evidence that they're honing in on. I do want to show you the intersection here, not as busy as it was during the time of this incident. However, it still is fairly populated right now. Mill Street and Foxen Road. The recently released surveillance footage really, though, could be key in tracking down that driver. The clip is short, but we did pause the footage so that you could see the collision right before. Now, according to East Haven officers, the hit and run unfolded Tuesday evening. The car involved a silver Nissan sedan struck a pedestrian and then fled the scene at a high speed. The car was last spotted on Foxen Road heading toward New Haven. I just checked with the East Haven Police Department and they do not have an update on the medical condition of that pedestrian, but as soon as we get that information, we'll bring that to you. Now, here is the part they're asking of every community member. If you witness this or know anything about this incident, you're asked to call police immediately. Your reporter in East Haven, Marcy Jones, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Also this morning, the Waterbury woman accused of holding her stepson captive for years wants her GPS monitor removed. The CT Insider reports Kimberly Sullivan asked the state's second highest court to reverse a lower court's order requiring her to wear a monitor. Her attorney argues the decision was not supported by evidence presented in the case. Sullivan is accused of keeping her stepson inside a small room with little food or water for 2 decades. Police say he escaped in February after starting a fire. And Safe Haven of Greater Waterbury says that he will soon be moved to a rehab facility to help him rebuild his strength.
Police in Waterbury are looking into what caused a car to crash right into a barrier near West Main and Sperry Streets. This happened around 8 last night. And right now you're taking a look at video which shows how damaged that vehicle was after all of this. Police tell us the driver was taken to the hospital with serious injuries, and we're still working to learn her identity. All right, let's switch gears now and talk about the champions, because the celebration of our UConn Women's National Championship continues all week long.
That's right. Today, AZ Fudd and KK Arnold will be at Raising Cane's in Enfield serving fans a victory meal.
And you're taking a look at video now from when the men served fans after their national title last year. The women will be there starting at 2 p.m. and then they'll have 2 days off before their championship parade in downtown Hartford Saturday.
It's a busy schedule. Stay with us on air and online at WFSB.com for full coverage of the championship celebration. Jill, you're working Saturday morning. Are you going to go to the parade, you think?
It'll be too late. By the time, I get done with work is when the parade's starting.
Oh, man.
You'll have to just watch it on Channel 3.
I have multiple ways I can watch it. And yeah, eeny, meeny, miny, mo at that point. All right, we're going to be talking about that chill to the air. We're experiencing temperatures that are below freezing, but the breeze out there this morning is making it feel like it's generally in the teens to low 20s. So yeah, had to break out the winter coat. And you might need it all day today, depending on, how easily you get cold. And yeah, you see a little flurry icon, 8 a.m. Torrington. Yeah, you can't rule out a little flurry. That's no big deal. Otherwise, it's sunshine today. It's colder than normal, but it's sunny. So that is key. We'll take that any day. We can just bundle up a little bit more. We have some changes, of course, with our forecast in the coming days. I'll explain more on that coming up in the next 5 minutes. But